So next topic is gestures. So there are two types of gestures: tap gestures and pan gestures. So tap gestures is for like detecting the tap on the UI controller, which has one or many taps. So some controls like label, UI view doesn't have taps. By default, on the buttons we have tap gestures already there. So you can just use action outlets for those. But if there is some requirement that a label should be clickable, or on click of that particular view we want to do something, so for that we can add tab gesture on top of that particular UI control. So how to do this, we'll just see. So create the application, and that, suppose we want to add tab on the label, we can just go in the Windows storyboard. On the view controller we'll just add label. So label will be like tap me. I will just add constraint here. Okay, so on click of that, what should be present, we can just create outlet and show this tab in debug area. This outlet is label. Okay, go back here. So on this label we just need to add tab gesture. Okay, so we can create one method like set tab for label. Just call this method from did load. Okay, so we'll create the let tab equal to, using UI tab gesture recognizer, we can add tab to that particular view. Okay, so target will be self because we want on this current controller, and we want action. So action will be selector. So you can just add hash selector, which needs objective C method. So we can just create one method as objc private label tapped. Okay, and this method will send sender as tab gesture recognizer, because this is a type of UI tab gesture recognizer. We can just send that here, and once we receive the tab, we just print something in the debug area. Okay, so we can just pass this method here. Okay, so by default this tab we need to add on. So we created gesture recognizer, but we need to add that on our label. So just label dot, we can add gesture recognizer. So here that tab should be added here. So we'll try to run this. We'll see will it work or not. Okay, so on that, just run the app. You can see the button, but I'm clicking, and in my debug area it is not showing anything. So here on click of it, it is not happening anything. We have added tab gesture recognizer and label, but it is not happening. I can just add breakpoint to verify as well, but it is not working. Okay, so because by default labels user interaction is false, we need to provide this to true. So just try label dot is user interaction enabled to true. So you can see, so each control has its user interface enabled property value is different. You can just go, and for UI label there is property is user interaction enabled, but default is no. So that's why it was, the tab was not captured. Okay, so I will just remove breakpoint and we'll try to see. So now I will click and tap me. So it just tapped. So in that sense, my label is now clickable. So there is one more property, which is number of uh, okay, so I just forgot. I was just doing a wrong thing that label.tab, but it should be tab gestures number of tabs required. So by default, you can just go number of tabs required here, and by default is one. So once I click, and then it is printing. But if I change that, suppose let's say three, we'll see how it works. So I click here, but it not happen. Now I click thrice, so it is happen. So after clicking three times, it is showing. So depending on our requirement, we can just change number of tabs required. So if we don't provide, it will be just one tab. Okay, so this is for the tab gesture. So we'll move the next section, which is pan gesture. So the using the same way that we used for the tab gesture, we can use pan gesture, but it is used for like user moves one or more fingers around that device screen. Okay, so we'll just add pan gesture on our view. Okay, so for now, I will just remove this tab gesture part, and we'll see how to use uh, pan gesture. So we'll create pan gesture object using UI pan gesture recognizer. It also need a target and action. So target will be self, action we need to create. So we'll create action here. It will be AtomBC function handle gesture. So this gesture will be type of this UI pan gesture recognizer. So we'll once we receive any pan gesture, this method will call. And we need to add this pan to our view. Okay, so dot view dot add gesture recognizer. So we can just add pan. So last time we just add tab gesture. In the same way, we just add pan gesture. Okay, so in the so once we pan on that particular view, this method will get executed, and from the this sender's object, we can just identify the state of that particular pan. So we can just see like sender dot state. So it will show me the state of that particular pan gesture. So once we go and check what state contains, you can see state has UI gesture recognizer states. So these are the states. So possible, begun, changed, ended, cancel, and all the things. So I will just go back and will to check each state. We can if we want a different code for this particular state, we can just add switch case here, like switch sender dot state, and we can just use states over here like case dot begin and whatever you want. I will just print currently. The same way we can just add for other cases as well. So we can use next one is changed, and then cancelled one, and after that ended. And if there are more, we can just add default case as well. Just print default. Okay, so we'll run the app to check like which gesture is showing here. You can see it is begun and then change. So I will just try again. I will just move and then end. So you can see I started my pen, then it shows the begin, then I just scroll down, so it is saying changed, and then once I end, it shows the ended. So depend on your requirement, you can just use this method, and whatever code you want for the pan related things, you can just do this. So like basically, if you want a digital signature, you can just use this thing, and any other scenarios you want, you use pan gesture. Okay, so that's it for the pan gesture, and it also ends the session 2. So thank you.